Humans are a social species. We spend a lot of time looking at other people, judging their actions or the way they live their lives. We make fun of them or get angry because they value different things than us. Sometimes we see others doing something that we scoff at as a complete waste of time, or maybe it just seems dangerous and unnecessary. Why would anyone do this with their lives? How stupid are they? Sometimes we even think of each other as insects, little ants carrying on with their meaningless work, unable to think for themselves, unable to see the pointlessness of their struggle, unable to live outside of what their social structure has decided for them. Not like us, the free thinkers, the people who have really got our lives together. Our hobbies make sense. Our goals are worth having. Insects. Pitiful creatures. I think of one insect in particular, the mayfly. Mayflies only live for 24 hours. They emerge from their larval state, find a partner to breed with, and promptly die. They don't even have a digestive system, because they don't live long enough to use it. They truly live a pointless existence, devoid of any meaning outside continuing their species. A species that creates nothing and could disappear entirely without any great consequence. We can only compare mayflies to ourselves because that is the only perspective we know. We are much greater. Our lives aren't so meaningless. We live so much longer than 24 hours. We live for 100 years. We can accomplish so much in our lives. We pass on knowledge from generation to generation, increasing our overall understanding of the world. We build massive civilizations that last much longer than our individual lives. We are capable of complex thought, to ponder the unknown and contemplate the meaning of our own existence, something a mayfly, or really any other animal, cannot do. But this is only our perspective, and we have nothing greater to compare it to. Just as a mayfly is only vaguely aware of our presence and cannot possibly even begin to understand what we are, imagine that there was something greater than us that followed in kind. You could call it a god if you wanted, but I find that the gods of man are weak, tethered by human emotions and bound by laws of human morality. I think of something much greater, an outsider. Something outside of our understanding in every way. Something outside the realm of what we can possibly even imagine. Something that exists and thinks on a level that we can't even describe. To even try to understand it gives it human qualities and therefore lessens any comprehension we have of its nature. From the perspective of this outsider, are we not as mayflies? Our lives of 100 years mean nothing compared to the unfathomable concept of eternity. It may as well be 24 hours. The knowledge we accumulate over the generations is meaningless in comparison to the knowledge of the outsider. Our knowledge is constrained by laws of physics and time that simply do not apply to the outsider, and therefore is utterly worthless. Our great civilizations crumble to sand and are forgotten. Even to us, they become nothing more than a curiosity. Our wars and struggles through the millennia are forgotten in time and mean nothing to the outsider. The outsider sees us as an entirely pointless creature who seems to exist only to propagate its own species and whose entire destruction will go unnoticed by the universe. And when our planet itself crumbles into dust, remnants of our existence will cease to even be a curiosity to the outsider, and eventually will be forgotten entirely. And imagine that there is even more beyond the outsider, that which even it cannot comprehend. A being or force that makes even the outsider look like an insect. And then, what are we to that? I think of the bacteria that we commit genocide against every time we wash our hands, something we do on a daily basis and think nothing of. Maybe the mayfly is enviable in some way. It's not burdened by the day-to-day hassle of survival, or war, or existential dread. It simply does the one thing it knows how to do, and then dies, returning to that peaceful state of non-existence. A place we're all headed for, regardless of how important we think we are. And then, when the last memory of you fades from knowledge, and the last of your civilization is turned to dust, you will be nothing more than a mayfly.